Goldilocks. So there were these three cute bears that lived in a forest. And one day, they were out collecting berries. And then this pretty young girl that had a golden hair stumbled in the forest upon their house. And she knocked on the door, and there was no answer. So after repeated knocking, she just went in. And when she went in, she saw that there were three bowls of porridge. And she tried one. She felt hungry, by the way. So she tried one, and the one was... No one knows the story. What was wrong with the first one?
Too hot.
First one was too hot. Okay. I haven't heard it in a long time. So first one was too hot, and then she tried the second one. The second one was too cold. Then the third one was just right, so she ate it all. And then she felt a little tired, so she decided to sit down. And there were three rocking chairs there. So she looked at one, it was too big, it was too high. And then the other one was too wide. And then the third one was just right. So she sat into the third one, but the third one collapsed. And then she felt a little more tired, so she decided to take a nap. And she went to the bedroom, and there were three beds, of course, not four. All these stories are based on threes. And then the first bed was too hard, the second one was too soft, and the third one was just right, so she fell asleep in it. Then when the three cute bears came back, returned to the house, they saw that first the father bear, he said, "Oh gee, someone ate out of my... tasted some of my porridge." And the mother bear said, "Well, someone tasted mine too." And the baby bear said, "Well, someone ate mine." It's all gone. And then they moved on and they saw the chairs. So the father bear said, "Someone was sitting in my chair, rocking chair." And mother bear said, "Well, someone was sitting in my rocking chair." And the little bear, the baby bear, said, "Well, someone crashed mine." So they went to look around the house. Then they eventually they came to the bedroom. And then the father bear said, "Someone was lying in my bed." And mother bear said, "Someone was lying in my bed." And the little bear said, "Someone is lying in my bed." Upon which the Goldilocks woke up and yeah, she saw the bears and ran. Yeah, jumped out the window or whatever happened. And that's the end of the story. Now, throughout the history, this story has been used to tell different morals, to demonstrate certain wise things about the world. And one of them is the golden middle. The golden middle. And that refers to finding sort of a balanced position. So golden middle. Like, one bed was too hard, the other one was too soft. One porridge was too hot, the other one was too cold. And then, she went for the middle, something that was in between. So the golden middle, that one should try to find this sort of a balanced position. Now, when we talk about the middle, that means that we have to have two other ends. There has to be one side, there has to be another side, so that you can have a middle. So what is it that defines this middle? So this middle, generally when we think about a group of people always tend to conform. And I'm not denouncing this or make any moral judgment about it yet. But that's a natural tendency to find this middle. People have a tendency to conform and find this middle. And if something is standing out, it's not in this middle. People feel uncomfortable about it. So if you're unusual within a society of people that you're living in, then that's not a middle position. It's not conformity, and people think it's extreme. Now, from a spiritual point of view, spiritual ideas of what the goal of or value in what the goal of life is and what is valuable in one's life is radically different to that of a group of materialists. So much so that even Krishna says that once you take up spiritual life, whatever's a daytime for you becomes like a nighttime for everyone else, and other way around. Whatever is daytime for materialists, that becomes a nighttime for you. In other words, completely the opposite. So this can pose, this can create a problem. This can create a problem. Like, for example, when I decided to make a radical move, not following my internal development, my family was quite shocked when I pronounced that I wanted to be a monk. They were actually upset. My father he had a hammer in his hand, and he just started banging. It didn't mean any violence, but it just, his hand just started moving. My mother started asking questions that are of primary concern to any materialist. What about your material future? What about money? What about, physical security, and so on and so forth? And she started to challenge all these ideas. So it was a problem. It was a problem. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a great sage and a teacher, an incarnation of Krishna, said that we should be, in these kind of situations, we should be just like an unfaithful wife. Like an unfaithful wife. He said that the symptom of an unfaithful wife is that she does her household duties even better than a faithful wife, so that the husband wouldn't recognize anything, couldn't detect that she has a paramour, that she has a lover. So in other words, what's going on here is that one's mind, one's consciousness, one's heart is fixed upon a spiritual goal. While on the outside, one does all of one's material duties perfectly. So as not to unnecessarily disturb the society of people where you live. So you don't get deterred. Just like a wife that has a lover. I mean, her mind, her heart is always with the other guy. But she does everything nice and just proper at home. So similarly, until the proper window opportunity arrives, one's advised to be like this. Another import of this lesson is that it is also not good to be too loud about one's vows. Like, for example, you fast. Like, according to Vedic astrology, today was a very good day to fast. So when you fast, you don't tell anyone anything. You just behave like everyone else. But you observe the fast. Because then in this way you get the greatest spiritual benefit. Otherwise one might be cultivating some pride or something. Oh, I fasted today. But no, you don't tell anyone anything. You just, you behave like everyone else, but actually internally you're totally somewhere else. So these are the two quick lessons for today from the Goldilocks.
Can it be? Is that secretive? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Secretive, yeah.
Is that like a secretive thing? Like
No, one doesn't have to unnecessarily be secretive, but one doesn't need to tell. If someone asks you, you're not adverse to saying that yes, I'm fasting, but you don't need to rush to say everyone, oh, today I'm fasting.
Tell your parents.
Yeah, you made that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I made the radical step, and it was, for some other people, it would have been maybe too difficult. But I had no problem emancipating myself just like that. I made a statement and I left, despite the hammer going. But for someone else may not have that spiritual determination, to make such a radical move, and therefore be influenced by, parents, society, friends. Yeah, they just gang up against you and just bring you down or soften your determination. So if that is your position, then you can just be quiet about it and just wait for the proper window of opportunity.
Understood.
And then take the action.